IG, Facebook. Peace, peace. What is going on today? Today is November 22nd, 2019. One of my favorite days of the week, FICO Friday. Yeah, everybody have a few minutes to hop in. Peace, peace. North. Lean. Peace, family. Hey, King Eric. Tommy. Man, I heard you ready to make some moves, King. Let's go. JMA page. King Will Roundtree Instagram page. Do you need installments for easy funding? You don't need them, but they definitely help. They definitely help. King B, I see you out there. True Kings, what's going on? FICO Friday, let's go. All right, Facebook, I see y'all. King Richard, what's going on? OC, what up? Excuse me. All right, fam, so we'll go ahead and get started. Today is November 22nd, 2019, FICO Friday. Looking at a couple different screens. We got Will Roundtree page, we got my Facebook page, and we got the JMA page. If you are not following each pages, make sure you go and follow. Definitely always going to be continually dropping some content. For those who don't know me, my name is Will Roundtree, the owner and founder of We Management Services. Author of the book Credit is King. If you have not picked up a copy of your book, you're playing yourself, all right? President, co-founder of Easy Funding with my brother King J. Let me see. I could continue going on. Credit Mastery Instructor for the J. Morrison Academy. And, of course, got my new book coming out, the new heat, Full-Time CEO, the shit they don't tell you about. I'm telling y'all, this is probably one of my best pieces of work. And I don't say that just because I wrote it, but you know, I really wanted to bring some information and talk to y'all about entrepreneurship and business and things that, you know, we really don't learn about from an entrepreneurship standpoint. You know, we always get the fluff. We always get the success. People ain't talking about their failures. People not telling you the hardships you're going to face. People not telling you about the money you're going to lose and the risks you have to take. And so not only am I talking about that in depth in the book, but I also talk a little bit about my journey and just try to use my journey as a catalyst to show people, like, look, if a college dropout from Milwaukee, Wisconsin can do it, anybody can do it. And so definitely somebody asked, where can you pre-order? You can go to fulltimeceobook.com, fulltimeceobook.com. It is on pre-order. My publishers are finishing up the edits. They are formatting it today, and the goal is to get those drafts out by Black Friday. So, you know, be on the lookout too. We're gonna probably put together a nice package deal. Got the Full-Time CEO hoodies, all of that, and got some merch behind it too. So, definitely. Also too, and I'll talk a little bit about this after towards the end of the live. We do have some great Black Friday promos coming up for our J. Morrison Academy family. Of course, you know, we got the Black Friday deals. You get 50% off Path 1 of the RBCs. If you have not signed up for RBCs, Real Estate, Business, and Credit, you playing yourself. I mean, those are the three pillars of everything that we need to know on how to create business. $27 for the residential real estate course. $27. I mean, most people pay more for that for parking. If you go downtown to any major metropolitan city, parking is probably more than $27. Wholesale Mastery course taught by my young brother, King Isaac. Yo, I'm telling you, this young king is out here doing some phenomenal things. Only $47 for the Wholesale Mastery. $77 for the Ultimate CEO Kit. So anything you need to know about taking your CEO skills to that next level, it's only $77. And then, of course, our legendary Black Friday bundle. Get all three for only $97. So make sure you go and sign up for those courses because we got to continue to educate ourselves. You know, Mark Twain has a famous quote. He said, "I never let schooling get in the way of my education." And so we have to continue to not only self-educate ourselves, but we got to want to have we got to want the knowledge, you know. And so it's really no excuses in today's climate for us to have a lack of, because it's out there, but we got to be willing to go out there. And then once we go out there and get it, we got to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, today's topic on FICO Friday is why banking relationships are important. And so often I talk to people, and when I'm giving them strategy or game and different things like that, what up with the path 3? Yeah, the path 3 is still the 997, King. I mean, that alone, because you're getting easy funding, is worth that value. I'm often telling people, you want to have bank relationships. And as you develop bank relationships, of course, banker relationships. Now, what I mean by having bank relationships is because, as your business continues to grow and you're getting funding for your business, or you just growing as an entrepreneur, or you're setting up multiple companies, because that's one of the funding strategies that, we show our clients, is that, you're going to end up doing business with multiple banks. I talk to so many people and I'm like, hey, I need you to go set up a bank account here. Well, I already have a bank account. Why do I want to set up another one? It's called relationships. See, a good friend of mine, my brother and mentor, King Beyond, said that business is 80% relationship based. And so to continue to grow your business from a funding standpoint, you want to have good relationships with the people who are going to be cutting you those checks, or, giving you the lines of credit and different things like that. And so one of the banking relationship strategies that I recommend is that, this is the easiest way, or the easiest path of developing a relationship with the bank, is by opening up a bank account with that bank. I'm telling you, when you open up a bank account with the bank, that shows for them it's a level of loyalty, because one, that's how banks make their money, off of our fees from the bank accounts. Well, when you have a relationship with the bank account, not only does it make it more liberal for them to give you an approval when you're going for credit, but even for some of my credit challenge individuals, there have been banks that have extended them some form of lines of credit, a credit card or something of that magnitude, just solely based off of that banking relationship. And so understanding that having a banking relationship is extremely important. And so when I'm telling a client, hey, I need you to go to X, Y, and Z and open up a bank account, it's not for the sake of having a bank account just to have it. You're doing it to establish that relationship. Because let me explain something to you. When you're going for business lines of credit, there's a lot of paperwork that's involved. It's not a quick process, not like a credit card where you get an instant approval. Typically, there's an underwriting process. Now, and so through that underwriting process, they're checking out your to see if you're a legitimate business. They're looking at your DMB to see if your company is structured properly. They're going online to see if you're indexed on different online directories. They're looking at your operating agreement. They're looking at your articles of incorporation or organization, or all that stuff. And they may even do a site visit. But check this out. When you have a bank account, sometimes they don't even go through that stuff. Did y'all catch that? So it mitigates a lot of the background, checks, for lack of better words, that the bank will do when you have a bank account with them. And again, the bank account doesn't necessarily have to be seasoned. Also, the bank account doesn't have to have a bunch of money in there. Did you know when you go for a business line of credit, they're not always necessarily how much money is in your bank account. They're looking at your personal credit score, your business structure, your SIC code, and then looking at what your P&Ls are for your business. Which is why we want to have some good tax specialists, tax professionals, to be able to make sure we're not expensing everything, because that's going to make the determination on what the bank approves you for on a business line of credit. But banking relationships are extremely important. Extremely important. And so understanding that we want to have different banking relationships, because it mitigates a lot of the due diligence work that they have to do. SIC stands for Standardized Industrial Code. And so one of the things I tell people is that if there's a particular bank that you're trying to get into, now I'm not saying that you can have bad credit and go open up a bunch of bank accounts and they're going to give you money, but having a bank account with that bank, it creates that relationship to where they're not doing as much they're not cutting through as much red tape, or they don't need a ton of paperwork, or the due diligence process is not as intrusive. And so again, I always recommend that you get not only a personal bank account, but also a business bank account. And a lot of times these bank accounts, you don't have to put a ton of money in there. Even if it's a savings. A lot of the times the savings account, you only have to open it with as minimal as $5, some of these banks. And so just understand that the banking relationship is extremely important. Now that next level is while you're building those banking relationships, then you want to start to understand who the bank managers are and who are the business bankers at that bank. Now, one piece of advice I want to give you guys, and you guys have probably already experienced this. Not everybody at the bank knows about credit. You'd be surprised. A lot of people that work at these financial institutions knows very little to nothing about credit. They're just paper pushers. No disrespect to anybody who may work in the banking industry. And so a lot of times when you are going to these banks, you know more than them. But it's still always good to have that relationship because they'll at least let you know why you may or may not have gotten an approval. That way you can fix it and be able to come back. Because a lot of times during the underwriting process, the underwriters don't usually like to share why they denied you. They just give you the standard, hey, too many inquiries, this, that, and the third. And those are just computer generated responses a lot of times. And so you want to be able to position yourself to where you're going to the bank and giving yourself the best chances of getting that approval. And by having those relationships with those bankers at that bank can help to maximize your approvals for that bank. And a lot of times they'll be able to tell you, hey, we got a new product coming out. You may want to jump on this. Like I have a bank right now that does home improvement loans and you don't have to own a home. They do home improvement loans and you do not have to own a home. So this particular bank that I work with is in the northeast part of the country because not all banks operate in all 50 states. They have different footprints that they can lend within and do different type of bank products. You'd be surprised. Another thing a lot of people don't know. Most banks have multiple products. So you can go to one bank and have 5 different products with them. You can usually get 2 personal credit cards, 2 business credit cards, a personal line of credit, and a business line of credit. I mean, I think that's 6 or 7 right there alone. So from one bank, if you structure yourself properly and know what you're doing, you can get over $100,000 just from one bank. Now imagine if you did that with 2 companies. And so understanding that getting the money is easy, but we got to get ourselves in position. And I talk about the 3 Ps. We want to get positioned so we can have the power to purchase, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's the cannabis industry, whether it's into other businesses, whether it's your startup business or only all of that. Okay. So yes, you can position yourself to get the power to be able to purchase by dealing with one bank. I mean, I've had clients where I've sent them to one bank and they've gotten over $100,000 just from that one bank. And we haven't even sent them to the other 2. But we got to we have to lay our foundation. And see, a lot of us, let's keep it 100. We don't want to lay the foundation because it takes too long. Who cares if it take you 8 months to fix your credit? Who cares if it took you 2 years to fix your credit? If you did nothing, you're going to be in the exact same position in the next 2 years. And so the thing that I'm always trying to tell people is that, yo, let's just do what we have to do. You know, let's stop complaining that it takes too long because a lot of times if you was to get the money today and don't know what to do with it, you're going to fumble it anyway. So let's just take our time and lay that foundation. That's why when you're building a home, the foundation takes the longest to build because you want to make sure and ensure as you're putting up the structures, the framing, the roof and all of that, that none of that can collapse. It can't crumble. It's impossible for it to collapse and crumble. And so just understand that we just have to do our due diligence. I saw somebody put, we got to put in the legwork. We have to put in some sweat equity. I'm sorry. Yes, it's the process is simple, or easy as I always like to say. But easy also means it's also easy not to do. It's easy not to do the simple things because we think it's going to take too long. It's easy not to want to fix our credit because we think because we filed bankruptcy a few years back that it's impossible, and it's not. I have a king that I'm working with right now, signed up for one-on-one coaching. Filed bankruptcy a few years back, just 3 weeks ago. In that 1 week span, he got over $170,000 in funding. Now, it wasn't an overnight process, but he did what he had to do, and he didn't let the bankruptcy deter him. And so understanding, no matter where your financial situation is, no matter where your credit situation is at today, we just got to put in the work. And again, what if, who cares how long it takes? I mean, we work 40 years and still end up broke after the 40 years of working a 9 to 5. So we have to get over this mindset of always trying to rush. I always tell people sometimes we have to slow down and speed up, because a lot of times we're just running and, aimlessly running to a destination that has no goal in sight, no end in sight, and, no benefits along the route that we're running on, because we're just trying to hurry up. And a lot of times we don't even know why we're trying to hurry up and get some funding. We don't even know why we're trying to hurry up and purchase this real estate. Like, we don't even know what we're doing along the process. And so this is why we got to just take our time, lay that foundation. And yeah, King said, don't be scared of the process. We cannot be scared of the process. You can't eat junk food for 20 years and then go to the gym for 1 week and mad you don't have abs. Like, it's a process. You have to put the work in. We have to put the work in. And so a part of that work is establishing those banking relationships. Now, one may say, well, I can't establish a relationship with a bank because I may be in Chexsystems. Very valid point. And for those who do not know what Chexsystems is, it's essentially a monitoring bureau for banks where they will send you if you owe money to. Well, did you know? I'll put y'all up on some game today. Some of y'all may know this, some of us may not. Did you know? If you are in Chexsystems, some banks will let you open at least a business checking account. A lot of people didn't know that. You can be in Chexsystems personally, but some banks will let you open a business checking account. Also, did you know? You could be in Chexsystems, but some banks have what's called second chance banking. See, a lot of banks have programs, but if we don't know this information, we can't go to the bank and ask them these questions. We have to just stop assuming that because you had an L previously that the game is over for you. No, like, we have to stop thinking like that. I get people that come to me all the time and say, oh, you know what, I filed bankruptcy. I know I don't qualify for easy funding. And I'm like, if that's how you live your life, then, I mean, you got a long road ahead of you. Like, you give up before you even try. And a lot of us do business like that. Like, we're like, you know what, I don't have any money. I can't start a business. Well, what does your credit look like? I have a client on here right now who didn't even have a job when we got him over 180 something thousand in capital. He's probably 3 times over that by now. Then bought an investment property and actively looking for another property. And so just understand, like, yo, we just got to do the work. We just have to get in the game. That's really what it boils down to. We just have to get in the game. Yes, Wells Fargo does second chance banking. A lot of people don't know that. So understand, if you're in Chexsystems, some banks will let you open a business checking account. But you got to go and set up the business. You got to invest a little bit of money. Let's do our due diligence, find out, how to set up a company. For anybody who needs assistance with setting up a company, reach out to me. I'll have my team personally reach out to you, and we will get your LLC set up. Make sure it's structured properly and that it is, what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all apologize. I apologize, y'all. I'm looking at a couple different screens. That it's bank compliant. Excuse me. We'll make sure that your LLC incorporation is bank compliant. And we also will make sure you have a registered agent. So if that's something that you need assistance with, again, I believe in becoming a professional at hiring professionals. Now, yes, you can also use sole proprietors if you have a sole proprietorship, because I talked to a client today and she did not have the money to set up an LLC. And I get it. That is extremely possible. But you can set up a sole proprietorship and go to the bank and still get those same perks and benefits. So again, it's really no excuse. We just lack the information. Says Navy Federal does $100 into savings. Yes, even credit unions, AC Fit, send me a direct message. All right. So yes, banks can be extremely flexible. And this is another thing I want to share with y'all. I was talking with one of my coaching clients, probably about a week or so ago, and I gave him some tasks, and he said, you know what, the bank told me no. I said, how many banks did you call? He said, oh, just that one. I'm like, call me back after you done called 50 different banks. See, that's the thing I want people to know. Not every bank operates at the same capacity or have the same guidelines. There are thousands and thousands of banks out here. There is a bank that will tell you yes. I promise you. There is a bank that will tell you yes. Now, it has to be within reason. It can't be anything like illegal. But there are banks out there that are willing to do the things that we need them to do. Remember, they need us just as much as we need them, but we have to put ourselves in position for them to want us. See, that's the thing. The banks fight for our information, if y'all don't know that. They spend billions of dollars on marketing to get us to come and do business with them. I'll prove it to you. Have you ever got a piece of mail from a bank that said, open up this checking account and we'll give you $200 after 90 days of having this account open? That is because they're fighting for our business, but we have to be in position for them to want to do business for us. We have to become attractive on paper, as I like to call it. We have to become attractive on paper. And when you become attractive on paper, there's no bank that won't give you any money. You know, trust me, you build a strong enough profile, you can go to any bank in North America and get money from that bank. Period. Set up multiple companies and go and get money from that bank. One of my bankers is on the line right now. He just called me yesterday and said, oh, King, one of your clients sent over 2 companies. We just got both of them a business line of credit for both of them. And check this out. My client who I sent to him, these are 2 companies he had dormant for like 2-3 years that he didn't even think he could use. And he got business lines of credit on both of those companies. But we had to put in a little bit of legwork. I've been working with this king for probably about 2 years. We put in some legwork to 2 companies that were dormant. One of them, he didn't even know the name of it anymore. He had to go look for it. He forgot the name of the company because it'd been dormant for so long. But we just got him a line of credit for $20,000 just from that one bank. Cumulatively, we got him $35,000 between 2 companies for companies that he doesn't even use anymore. But he just kept them active and paid the registration fee every single year, the renewal fee. So again, when you're attractive on paper to these banks, the banks are throwing money at you. They're throwing it at you. But we got to do the legwork. We have to put ourselves in position. All right. So I'll go ahead and open it up for some Q&A. Let me see. Is it possible to do anything with a trash credit score? No, but fix it. I'm going to recommend that you fix it. You know, you definitely want to go and work on it. And if you have not done so, go to creditisKingBook.com, and I have my Elite Credit Repair Template ebook on there for only $49.99, which they're going up at 2020. So anybody who doesn't have those ebooks, you may want to go and get them right now. But I have sample letter just about for every single situation and scenario. For nobody_important, please go and pick that up. What does ongoing APR means on a credit card? Annual percentage rate, meaning that the rate can fluctuate based upon the national prime rate for revolving credit. Yes, he can go buy assets with that, which that's what he uses his lines of credit for. Absolutely. Do we work with startups? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you even have an ideal of starting a business, reach out to us and we can get you some capital. What about your inquiries? We get those cleaned up for you. We help you get those cleaned up. The website, creditisKingBook.com. CreditisKingBook.com. If you already have your business set up, can you make sure it's structured correctly? Absolutely. And even if it's not structured correctly, we normally show our clients that when you book a consultation. Does your personal credit score always have to act as a personal guarantor for business credit? Yes. Unless you own Coca-Cola, you will always have to personally guarantor. Where can I get the dispute letters from again? CreditIsKingBook.com. King Justice just posted that. How many days for startups can you get credit? Your company can be 1 day old. Anybody, I want to put this challenge out. If you have a 1 day old company, reach out to us and we're going to get you some capital. That, you know, we can get you capital no matter how young the company is. Do you open accounts? Let's see. Do you do open accounts inquiries? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I have 3 businesses and I'm broke. Well, you need some new strategies, but you're in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. S corps or self-employed? Not sure if that's what question that if that's a question or you're just stating something. Would you recommend settling debts before beginning credit repair? No. No. Nope. 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 See what else. How long does the Chexsystems attempt to collect unpaid debt? I'm not sure. They can go after you, of course, I would assume up to 7 years, but they can stay on there a long time. But did you know you can dispute your own check system? They're actually extremely liberal. They remove you from check system. And now, if you just owe an absorbent amount of debt, that's going to be a whole nother ball game. But, you know, my business is a year old, still moving slowly. Well, reach out to us. Hopefully we can get you some capital so you can speed up the process of getting your business to that next level. I got 43,000 with no docs on a new startup. You just need the right guidance. King Gary, absolutely. Talk that talk, King. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, it's so easy right now. Like, if you in business and you are saying, hey, I don't have access to capital, that's on you. Because we get on here every single week and tell you how simple it is. Yes, I was at Flipology. Yes. We get on here every single week and tell you how simple it is to get the capital. But we just got to do some of the legwork. Do sell trade lines. Yes, I actually just got a new trade line, a $75,000 trade line. I got 5 spots left. So if you want that $75,000 trade line, reach out to me today. I got 5 spots left on that one. Taj Cement Finishing LLC, based in Houston, Texas. Absolutely. Shout that business out, King. All right. I have $9,000 in revolving credit that I'm paying down. Would debt consolidation be a good idea? I'm not sure on your particular credit situation, but I wouldn't do debt consolidation on $9,000 unless you're going to go get a personal loan to pay it down. But no. Please tell me how to raise capital. Depends on what you are trying to get some capital for. But why do you want to raise capital? Go and get your own capital. See, the thing is when you take on investors, when your company is very young, you're going to lose equity in your company. And so I always tell people, let's become our own investors and go get our own capital. You just heard King Gary talk about he went to a bank and got over 43,000 with no docs. I don't think y'all know what no docs means. That means they ain't asked for no paperwork. Remember, with revolving credit, they ask, it's stated income. Stated income. When I heard about stated income in the bank, I literally did a backflip in the bank, and I don't even know how to backflip. You know how you just get so excited and you end up doing something you didn't know you can do? I did a backflip in the bank when I learned these strategies. 'Cause I'm like, yo, like, it's stated income. So it's not going to get any easier than this. All right, let's see what else we got. Have you used business credit to acquire any property? Subject to, yes. Devontae, I bought my very first property with a credit card. I'm trying to get the process going, and I sent my contact information. All right, so somebody will reach out to you. We'll make sure somebody reach out to you. King Chris, what up? Can you use easy funding for real estate? Yes, you can. Do they put high risk alerts if you have a secure credit card? No. Now, if you got a bunch of secure credit cards, then that possibly could be the case, but no. My trade lines just hit yesterday, King. That's what up. How much for the trade line? I have to get the rate from my vendor, but I got 5 spots left. What can you do when a debt collector is threatening you with a UCC lien? Reach out to me. I have a very good debt negotiating firm that I use to assist with that. So make sure to reach out to me, Signature Home Theaters. I keep hearing that trade lines are illegal. If not, no. I don't know who told you that, but whoever told you that knows nothing about business, knows nothing about credit. I have bankers on here who will tell you, hey, go get some trade lines to tighten that score up. Best credit builder for a college student. Start with authorized users. Can easy funding be used for cannabis? Absolutely. Easy funding is non-discretionary, which means you can use it for whatever. Where would you purchase real estate right now? I only purchase in the Midwest. What is a trade line? A trade line is any line of credit reporting on your credit report. Why would I get a trade line? A trade line doesn't help everybody's situation. The only time I recommend it is if somebody needs to show a high credit limit or history. That's the only time I recommend mine. Yeah, blessed open vision. Yeah, trade line's the way to go, especially if you know how to leverage it the right way. You know, last FICO Friday, we talked about the power of leverage. After you buy on credit, how do you profit? I'm not sure what that means, family. Wise Money Academy. Please help me understand that. Need to hear this, King. Thank you for the motivation. King Tyrone, you already know, King. All right. I enrolled in Easy Funding. You recommend setting up 3 LLCs for the first round, right? No, I never tell people to set up 3 LLCs for the first round because Easy Funding only covers for one, and you want to get your foot in the door. I do recommend that you have multiple LLCs to get multiple funding over time, but I don't tell people to do it right away because, for one, I don't know what their budget looks like. We had an incorporated business for 10 years, but haven't really done anything with it. But we're looking to get it officially started 2020 in real estate and property management. Hey, there's no better time than the present. There is no better time than the present to get started. After you purchase the property on credit, what is the best way to profit? That's why you want to do coaching. But the best way to profit is, one, make sure you purchase the property the right way. Are you fixing and flipping? Are you, buying and holding? I mean, there's so many different strategies. What exactly is your 10% succession fee? A 10% succession fee, whatever we help you get through our banking partners, our team collectively charges 10%. I can tell you, average out in the industry is 12 to 22. Just talked to a company today, a client today, where he said he went to a company, they were charging him 25%. So what is the best way to get an LLC? Well, we do help people set up their LLCs, or you can go right to the Secretary of State of your particular state, or use a third-party company like a LegalZoom, InkFile, but it's extremely simple. How can you find cash buyers for wholesaling? You got to market yourself. I was on a consultation today, and I asked the client, I said, why would I want to do business with you? You got to make yourself attractive for people to want to spend money with you. If you're asking somebody to come and spend $100,000 on a property that you're marketing, first you better know what you're talking about, because you get one shot to impress people. And secondly, you got to make sure people believe you, that you're the expert of your field and you're the expert of your industry. So, need help with taxes? Do you know who? Yes, Bino Brown. Send me a message and I'll get you connected with the best tax people that I can connect you with. How do you get funded for a business? Sign up for easyfunding.com. Use Easy Funding. King Justice, if you could pin that in there. What's the age and fee on that $75K trade line? I have to get the age and the fee. I just got the card today, so I have to get all of that. Send me a message. Queen Kiki, what's going on? All right. Is the 1031 good if you're flipping houses? Yes. If you got a good tax strategist, they'll tell you that too. Excuse me. I own a 2-year-old S Corp looking to raise both personal credit scores and business working capital. How do I get started? Sign up with the J. Morrison Academy. Not only are we going to get you right on a credit repair, but we also can get you right for the funding. How hard would it be to get a mansion property? Just like any other property, as long as you got the capital. I'll be signing up for RBC soon. Thank you. Hello, real estate investor. All right. Is this going to be something I can watch later? Yes, absolutely. It'll be on the replay on IG for 24 hours. And hopefully it'll still save so we can upload this on YouTube. Can I use Easy Funding for debt consolidation loan? You can use it however you want. I had a client who had a family emergency, had to pay for hospice care for their a family member, and they used their funding to cover that, the medical expenses. Now, again, the capital, you can use it however you want. It's non-discretionary. I mean, I've had clients who had to use it for bail money for a family member. I mean, but they had a means to be able to pay it back. So, what do you think about stocks? I'm a fan of stocks. So as long as you do your homework and know what you're investing in, I am a fan of stocks. All right. All right. What else y'all got for me? All right. Do you have any mortgage lender info in Dallas? Not anyone particularly in Dallas, but I do have someone in the mortgage industry that can lend nationwide. How can I use Easy Funding for real estate? It depends on what type of real estate you're looking to do. Buy and hold, fix and flip, Staxing, I believe. I recommend you possibly want to set up a consultation because there's so many different strategies on how Easy Funding, which 60 to 70% of our clientele, that's what they use easy funding for. Can I turn credit into cash without using advance? Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't use cash advances. Should I do coaching before I'm ready for funding? King Chris, that would be up to you. But I would say get the money first, or get the money as soon as you can. Let me put it that way. I don't have an LLC yet. Let's get you an LLC, DJ. All right, let's get you that LLC set up. And if you need some help with that, send me a message. I can have my team reach out to you. How do I get enrolled in easy funding? Let me put the website in here. You can go to www.useeasyfunding.com and go and get set up today. Do you recommend buying your first home before getting into real estate? Good question. You can do it simultaneously, but I do definitely recommend owning your home because it allows you to also use that as a bank. You buy something with some equity. We just had a client who bought, she owned a home, tapped into the equity, and now is using that to finance her real estate investment career. I need what your company is administering, and I can help you guys with stocks. All right, send us a message, King. How to set up a consultation for easy funding. You can go to the website, Philly. All right. Is it one client per easy funding package? Yes. How much is coaching? You have to go to the website. I don't even monitor how much the coaching is. I have my sales team handle all of that. Always dropping gems. Hey, appreciate that, King. Thank you. What do you think about the tax? What do you think about the tax business? I love the tax industry. You know, one thing people gonna always have to do the rest of their life is file taxes. Talk about a real recession-proof business, that's recession-proof for you. And so I've actually invested in tax businesses and tax franchises. And so if that's something you guys are interested in, send me a message and I can connect you with some of the ones that I personally recommend because I'm going to vet them out. All right. I have over 100K in credit, not sure how to leverage that to purchase properties. So it depends on what your strategy is. I had a coaching call a few days ago where the client who got the 170K just put an offer in on his first property. So we've been showing him the strategies on how he going to leverage that capital he got from the bank. Can I LLC a business I started 15 years ago? Yes, I'm assuming it's a sole proprietorship. I'm not sure. Let me know how that is. What's there between the academy and easy funding? The academy is the coaching. The easy funding is how you get the money. Can a fraud alert stop you from getting a bank account? No, but if they can't pull your information, because some credit unions do pull your credit, they just need you to verify and authenticate yourself. That's it. And so that's all you really have to do. Where to get the dispute letters again? creditisKingbook.com. creditisKingbook.com. How can I get started trading? What would you recommend the way to learn? So I don't necessarily teach trading. But, you know, first place to start is going to open up an account. And there's a plethora of companies out there that offer that. Where do I send a message, bro? You can send a DM to this IG page right here. Is my dormant LLC more useful than a new LLC? Absolutely. Because if the company has 2 years of age and doesn't have any debt tied to it, you can still go and get capital. Like I talked about my coaching client and my brother who's on here now, who he had 2 companies that were dormant. One of them, he didn't even remember the name of the company, and we got on some capital on. Can you get funding on both business, sole prop, and LLC, even if I just started the business? Yes. So let's say you have an LLC, and you have a sole proprietorship. They just both started. We can get you funded on both of these entities. See, this is the thing I want y'all to know. All right. Banks fund persons. Person, apostrophe S. Bank funds persons. Okay. You have you. That's a person. You are a person. You have your LLC. For those who don't know, an LLC is a person by bank standards. So if banks fund persons, you are a person and the LLC is a person. No matter how many LLCs you have, that's a person that a bank can fund. So again, I'm telling y'all, it's simple, but we got to put ourselves in position, okay? So always just remember that an LLC, a S Corp, an incorporation, a sole prop, those are persons. The banks like to fund persons. All right. All right. Should I open a business with your personal credit score? Should you open a business? Yeah, if you have a business, you definitely should open a business. Is it smart to open multiple businesses and build a credit on them? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you get late payments off from student loans 5 years old? You can. Definitely dispute those. All right. I need to purchase a trailer for my trucking company. How can you help? Well, first we need to look at your credit, and depending on what part of the country you live in. I do have a bank that does 100% financing on trucks in the trucking industry. 100% financing. Will have an appointment with your office Monday. I'm not sure, is that a question or a statement? It says, have an appointment with your office. Signature Home Theaters. Help me with that one, all right? What credit scoring system do credit unions use? I had 100 points more with them versus what I saw on Identity IQ. So it depends on the bank. Some of them have their own banking system, which is, and it depends on what bank it is. That's what the FICO 9 model was. A lot of banks aren't using it. And also, too, remember, banks have what are called banking scores. Banks grade you based upon if you get a bunch of non-sufficient fees, if you have, just all these different things going on. So, but typically, and this is why we got to understand how to read a credit report, even just the basics of it, because even though your credit scores could be off based upon the credit monitoring service, based upon the information that's within the credit report, you should know or have an idea about where your credit profile is at. All right, so just always tell people this is why we want to learn about credit reports, at least the basics. I've seen other people promise business funding without a PG, and it's not gas cards or retail cards. What type of funding could that be? They are department store cards. I promise you, most of the people that are saying they can get you funding without a PG, bank funding, they are not telling you the truth. Someone with Jay's wife page said, I'm not sure what that's about. My score is a 560. Can I get any business funding? Not necessarily with a 560. So what I would recommend is that you possibly look at credit repair first. My LLC is in Wisconsin, though. Can I get lending while living and doing business in Texas? Absolutely. Absolutely. I had an LLC over 7 years ago. However, it did not do much. Can I still get funding? If it's still active, absolutely. I have a DBA under an LLC. Can I move it to an LLC? Yes. How do you get a mortgage with an LLC? First of all, it has to be an investment property, and you typically won't be able to go through a traditional bank. All right. I am still on school and make about $38K. Can I still buy a home? It depends on, you can buy a home. It just depends on how much you qualify for. Black Friday deals on Path 3. No. And I'll go over the JMA promos again before we disconnect. See, I think you should do a depth video on credit reports and break it down for us. Yeah, I'm actually doing a webinar on credit reports. Best way to get first car at 18. Very good question. So if you have good credit, even though you're 18, I'm going to put y'all up on a secret too. When you have great credit when you're young, or even when you're going to purchase a vehicle, when you go to your own bank to get financing, a lot of times they do not ask for proof of income. Now, if you've never financed a vehicle before, a lot of times they'll cap you on the dollar amount you can purchase. So if you're trying to purchase a luxury vehicle brand new, they may not let you because you're a first-time auto loan financer. But anything usually about $20,000 and below, if you purchase a vehicle for the first time and you have a decent credit profile, they will let you purchase that vehicle, probably with no money down. All right. My credit is horrible. I need to purchase 232 gooseneck trailer. So I'm going to recommend that you fix your credit. We do offer credit repair here at J. Morrison Academy. Shit, I'm a dealer. Come through me. Blessed Open Vision. Hey, send me a message. I want to see what type of rates you can get. I need some more vehicles. Can you expand on the starting a credit repair business webinar? Yes. So next week, the 27th, I'm doing a webinar on how to build a 6-figure income in the credit repair industry. Basically, we got the whole business in a box for you, and we're going to give you all of that. And then I even offer a franchise. Well, it's not necessarily a franchise, but we give you the whole plug and play, our processors and everything. But you know, that definitely is a ticket. So I have real estate deal, but not enough capital. What should you do? We got to get you some more capital, King Chris. Come on, man. You know the answer to that. Or you could partner on a deal with somebody. You could partner on somebody. You know, I'd rather get half of something than zero or nothing. 799 FICO. Don't know where to start. Please help. I would sign up for easy funding. Let's get you some capital. All right. Will they put the same cap for the vehicle if never purchased a vehicle before but get it under your LLC? Good question. That I'm not 100% sure of. But you can actually get an equipment line of credit to purchase a vehicle, and then it's not necessarily a cap. You can get an equipment line of credit to purchase vehicles under the company. Just keep in mind the interest rates usually will be a little bit higher. All right. Can I use easy funding to buy tax liens? Yes, you can. But remember, when you get the funding, you want to be able to liquidate because you got to cut that check right away for the tax liens. Can you do a webinar about renting cars out? I've been really thinking about that. A lot of people have been liking my Toro strategy, and I've been getting a lot of requests about that. So yeah, definitely. I actually had about 5 people book a consultation this past week, strictly just to learn the strategies on how to buy vehicles and rent them out. You know, so I mean, I always tell people, man, it's probably one of the best things, the easiest ways to make money, and you don't even have to have brand new vehicles. I mean, one of my trucks has been rented out for 3 weeks. So like I say, look, everything for rent. You know, somebody want to rent these shoes I got on, they for rent. You know what I'm saying? So my shoes are for rent if anybody needs some sneakers for the night. All right. How long does it take for the trade line to appear on the credit? I always say it can take up to 30 to 45 days, but it also depends on the statement date. What are the rates of your credit repair program? It's going to vary. So I would say GT away, send us a message and we'll get someone to reach out to you. Thank you. The credit union saying I had a 765 versus a 665 with identity IQ, I'm going to assume, just shocked me, and I was wondering. Yes, I particularly like Experian.com or Credit Check Total. That's just my recommendation. Can you also do a webinar on tax preparation? Yes, I think in December I'm going to do that. This coming up December, I will do one because I see so many people go through tax preparation and put themselves from a financial standpoint. So I want y'all to be prepared so you're not putting yourself in a negative situation. Toro is not in NYC. Oh man, Kiki, we got to see if they set up in Jersey. Go put some cars in Jersey. I submitted my deal through Treff Life site. Hopefully we can get back to you, Queen. What should I do if a credit card company trying to take me to court? Should I try to pay it off before then? So this is the only time when I do recommend you try to pay it or settle if they're going to sue you. So that's what I do recommend. Can you start the easy funding process while paying down credit card utilization? Yes, you can start at any time. How do you start a business with no funding? Good question. You can first start by even getting a sole proprietorship. So, I mean, that's one way around it. Get some capital under that sole proprietorship. Use that capital to invest in setting up an LLC. How much is your 5K trade line? It depends on the age of it. So House Maps, send me a message and I can get somebody to get you set up. Toro is in Jersey. See, Queen Kiki, just like that. Set up right across the Hudson. You good to go. All right. Interested in vehicle rentals? Yes, let's get you set up. Will, what's going on? I see you are sharing that knowledge. King Josh Randall, I definitely try to pay it forward, as one of my mentors told me. A lot of people will disappoint you with their tax credits being significantly decreased, but we have to stop relying on tax refunds. Shayna Marie, man, say that again. Yo, we have to stop it. We got to stop relying on tax refunds. The Queen said it best. Yo, when you're a business owner, when you're trying to call yourself a boss, when you're trying to get to that next level in business, we got to stop relying on tax refunds. Because let me tell you something. It's your money anyway. But how do you mitigate that? One, what you can do, I'm going to put y'all up on some game. King Tyrone, this one for you, just because you asked. You can actually increase your number of dependents on your W-4. Dollar for dollar, you actually get more money back throughout the year. But then when you have a business, you can offset that, so you may end up owing at the end of the year, but you got more money throughout the year. That's only a strategy I recommend. One, if you need the capital if you need the income throughout the year. If you don't necessarily need the income, we got to stop expensing everything, because then when you go get ready to try to buy a house, you're trying to fund your business, you put yourself in a situation where you don't qualify for nothing, because you made $100,000, you wrote off $80,000, now your income is $20,000. And so we got to stop doing that. So definitely, Queen, I appreciate that word. All right. So, but as long as you got tax breaks are set up for businesses anyway. So if you have a W-4, increase your dependents, use your tax write-offs for throughout the year for your business, but let's stop writing everything off. Let's stop depending on refunds. Let's get money throughout the year. See, if we get money throughout the year, we don't got to worry about a tax refund. All right? Yes. No free loans through. I heard that. Let me see. I asked, can I use easy funding to purchase tax liens? I lost service. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Philly. Yeah, no, appreciate you, Queen Shayna. Thank you. Thank you for that. Info about business in a box costs. TY Consulting. Send me a message, because we're actually about to put that out this week, and we're going to have a Black Friday sale. So we're not set on the pricing yet. How do I put my car lease on my LLC? You have to find out through that dealership. I'm not sure. And you have to be able to lease the vehicle through a fleet. But in order to do that, you have to have what's called a PayNet score. We help people build their PayNet scores. Reach out to us if you want more information on how to build a PayNet score. Why do people opt more for LLCs? Your taxes at 15% self-employment tax opposed to an S corp. Man, y'all dropping some game on people. I'm telling you. If you have an LLC and your company making money, I automatically always tell people to convert to an S corp, because you avoid the 15% the 15% self-employment tax. This is why we need tax strategists. See, we got to just quit doing things because we think it's cool or cute and all of that stuff. Yeah, will it cost you to have somebody that know what they're doing? Absolutely, but that's what we have to invest in. You know, I pay my tax accountant very hefty every single month, even just for the bookkeeping. But you'd be surprised what he saved me in having to pay out in taxes. But that's because I understand that it's a process. And so even when my company was not in a position, I always paid for the best, because I understood that it's all about strategy to put me in position to get to that next level. And like the Queen said, I wasn't relying on refunds. Now, I get it. Some of us, that is how we make it throughout the year. But let's take that tax refund and invest in the business to help us make money every single month. Okay, so it's really just about game planning. So it may take some sacrifices. That sacrifice may be getting rid of cable. That sacrifice may be we got to stop buying loud every week. Some of y'all will catch that after the live is over. some of the sacrifices will be we got to stop going out every week. The sacrifice may be you may not have a Christmas this year, meaning buying presents and all of that other stuff. The sacrifice may be you may not be able to go on the next vacation. But we got to be willing to put those sacrifices in so we can do what we got to do to create this generational family legacy wealth. We got to do it. All right. Can't you start off an LLC and switch to a S corp? Yes, you can. You can file an election and switch that right just like that. Simple. Oh, some of y'all caught that loud, huh? Stop buying clothes. Yeah. See, y'all get it. Y'all get it. I love it. Loud equals weed. Where do I sign up? You can sign up right here, right with us, family. All right. All right. Let me see. Stop buying Jordans. Unless you King Chris who flip his Jordans. You can't tell Chris stop buying Jordans. I ain't going to tell him how much you to make so they're not counting your pockets. But let's just say he flipped it for a ticket. All right. King Kendall, appreciate that. How lucrative is renting cars on Turo? If you can buy the cars at the right price, it can be very lucrative. You know, so let's say you got a vehicle and the note is like $200-300 a month. Potentially, depending on the type of vehicle, the market you're in, and all of that, that vehicle may make you $1,500, $2,000 a month. But you just got to know what you're doing, be able to purchase at the right way, and know how to purchase the vehicle without it coming out of your pocket. We leverage everything. We leverage the credit to buy vehicles. So anything I drive is for rent. So next time you're in Vegas and you need a whip, make sure you hit me up. How long a trade line lasts? It depends. Typically, when you purchase from us, it can be 45 to 60 days. We've actually had people purchase to keep a trade line on for 12 months. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No note cash out up front. It depends. Yeah, you can definitely buy it cash. Definitely buy it cash, but it depends on the type of vehicles you in. You know, it definitely depends on the type of vehicles you in. But again, that's why you got to know your ROI. Have the the renters, service the debt. King, do you have any Teslas in your rental? Not any Teslas yet. I've been looking for one at the right price. So any of my auto brokers on there, if y'all got any Teslas, reach out to me. You got the Lambo, I'll be out there in a couple months. Hey, come on, King. Second best word in the dictionary, leverage. Absolutely. Leverage is definitely one of the top words that I love. All right. You're from Milwaukee. Yes, I'm from Milwaukee. Rent or flip. I like renting. I like buying and holding. I love to buy and hold. All right, so it looks like I have a few minutes left, so let me go over these promos one more time. So again, if you have not picked up and pre-ordered my book, Full-Time CEO, the shit they don't tell you about, make sure you go to fulltimeceobook.com, purchase that pre-order. Let me see what else. You can still go and purchase Credit is King. My ebook is on creditisKingbook.com. Any type of letter you need, whether you're trying to dispute a bankruptcy, you're trying to dispute credit inquiries, if you're trying to dispute medical debt, I have a letter in there specifically for medical, utilizing the HIPAA laws. Okay. Now, J. Morrison Academy promos, 50% off Path 1 RBC. For those who don't know what RBC stands for, it stands for Real Estate, Business, and Credit. Everything you need to be able to get that passive income that Queen Shayna is talking about, and that's going to teach you how to leverage to get the passive income. Residential real estate course is only $27. I know some of y'all about to go spend $27 at the mall this evening. I know some people spend more than $27 this morning at Starbucks. So let's go ahead, educate ourselves about residential real estate, only $27. You go to jmorrisonacademy.com to get these promos. Wholesale Mastery, only $49 if you want to get more information about wholesaling. Full-time, the Ultimate CEO Kit, only $79. The JMA Legendary Black Friday Bundle for all three, only $97 for the RBC. For the Original Wealth Mastery. Make sure y'all go and pick that up, y'all. I'm telling you, these promos go until, I believe, November 29th, I believe. No, I think December 2nd, December 2nd. So make sure you go to jmorrisonacademy.com, pick up those promos. My IG countdown is going down. So family, I appreciate y'all. Again, remember, let's continue to support each other. Last week we talked about leverage. The leverage of us as a community is we got to support each other. We got to, support that each one of us can continue to thrive, continue to stay in business and all that good stuff. Definitely want to leverage that $75,000 for 12 months. King AD, hit me up. Let's get you locked in. I got 3 spots left. I just got an alert from my vendor, said that 2 people had already purchased them. Great live. What's my IG is Mr. Will Roundtree, Mr. WILL Roundtree. So family, I definitely appreciate y'all. This will be up in the stories for the next 24 hours. If you have not registered, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, go to Mr. Will Roundtree. Pretty much across the board. If you are on Twitter, I just got on Twitter, y'all. So y'all help a brother out with his followers. I don't even be knowing what to post over there half the time. But on Twitter, handle is all across that Mr. Will Roundtree. So family, again, I appreciate y'all. Let's go continue to support each other. Make sure we go and support one another businesses. So make sure y'all sharing what y'all do in your respective industries. Turo platform where you can rent out your cars. Yes, Turo is where you can rent your vehicles. Even if you have 2 vehicles and one of them don't work, you can put that on Turo. I'm telling y'all, it's one of the best things. And no, I don't endorse them. I just think that it's an easy way for us to bring in some additional income, or as the Queen mentioned, that passive income. So I appreciate y'all, family. Thank you. I will see you guys next Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday. All right, peace.